My first pick is Zscaler. This is a name I love because it's in the valuable cybersecurity space. Cybersecurity threats are only getting worse. Zscaler is like Palo Alto or Fortinet in that it offers firewalls to keep the bad guys out. The normal firewall acts like, think of an office receptionist, Frank, or a security guard. They validate your ID. Yep, it's you. They let you in. Zscaler takes it to a new level. With a typical firewall, they let you into the building and you can wander around. Zscaler takes you into a room, locks the door. You stay there. What's great about it is that it really limits the bad things that can be done. Market cap is 37 billion. Revenues are running at a rate of 1.3 billion a year. So it's trading at 30 times revenue. Not cheap, but the revenues are expected to double every couple of years.
Yeah, interesting you said not cheap. Let's go to your second pick, which is Octo. And you and I talked about this a little bit yesterday because I don't know that much about cybersecurity and how these things work together. But according to you, Zscaler and Octo, they actually work together. They
do. So Zscaler, before they offer the firewall, they validate your identity through Octo. Octo is a $37 billion market cap, and they are in the identity space. You think about it, employee identity, very, very important. What they've done is, for employees, they have what's called a single sign-in. So before you join a company, you may have subscriptions to the New York Times, to Bloomberg, to various websites. And you would have a login for every single one. What Octo does is they give you one sign-in, and they tell you which ones you can log on to, which ones you cannot log on to. The nice thing about it, if you ever leave the company, one fell swoop, you're blocked off of everything. No more wondering, oh, this person is left. Do they still have access to this or that? Okay, they do the same thing on the consumer side. Believe it or not, there was a time, if you have a Facebook account and Facebook says, can I have access to your email contacts? You would have to give Facebook your username and password. Can you imagine? No more. Now, Facebook will have to work through Octo. Octo will give permission, will give the username, will give the information without your username and password. Very important. They're also doing the same thing, app to app, machine to app. It's a huge market, $80 billion. The US government is getting in on the game. They're a little bit slow on cloud. I expect this thing to keep growing. We own it, we love it. It's growing 45% revenue a year. Revenues are 1.2 billion. Again, not cheap, but I think you got to own it.
You know, it's interesting you keep saying not cheap. One other thing I want to talk to you about, just their performance over the last week. I know tech's having a sell-off in general, but cybersecurity is more in demand than ever. And then you look today, Okta's down fractionally, but Zscaler's up big. Any reason for that today?
Because these companies are not going away. Cybersecurity threats are not going away. Chief technology officers know they're going to need these. So the demand is there. I'm not too concerned about short-term price movements.
Okay. So I know you have one more pick, and this one I think is really interesting. I mean, you talk about some outside-the-box pick. I'm going to let you go because we're almost running out of time.
Okay, very quickly, Radnet, very simple story. Okay, it's $28 stock. It's the largest provider of outpatient imaging services, has a market cap of $1.6 billion. Very simple. You can go to the hospital and pay 4 times as much to do your MRI or your mammography, or you can go to Radnet. It's a 75% discount. The stock is great. CFO, I met him, smart as a tack, really impressed. They grow their revenues. They lost revenues of 7% last year. This year, they grew it by 21%. I think this is one you can buy, put away. It's also trading at 20 times PE, 20 times free cash flow, not revenue. So this is my cheapest stock, and it's one I feel very confident about.
Really interesting. And just really quick, you also call it a reopening and a recovery play. You think the demand for these services is going to increase as we go out and about more?
It is, Frank, because remember, last year with COVID, a lot of procedures didn't take place. People were just locked down. So the stock did get hit. The revenues did get hit last year. This year, things have opened up, and they're going to keep opening up. So that's another kicker with this thing. There's also another AI kicker with it. And in general, I think this is, again, it's a small cap name. You can buy and hold for a long time. It's a meat and potatoes, nothing fancy, outsourced scanning.